that 5 minutes to let people roll in here. Make sure we can give them a little time to kind of get going.
Sure.
Well, let me kick this off by just thanking everybody that's here today. I appreciate you making the time to come out and listen to what this thing is all about. Full disclosure, here's why I decided to actually kind of get behind this thing and say, hey, Adrian, let's talk. Let me make sure people know what you're doing. He did not offer me millions of dollars. I don't think that's the way things roll, or it's not the way we roll. It's really because I looked at how this thing was being put together, and I was just like, wait, we need this. Like, not just me, but we as a whole in crypto. And then you add the fact that we're talking about building it on, the most secure platform right now for smart contracts. Getting things written and packed. That's just awesome. So I know the Kadena community is all about this and all behind you. So I'm really excited to have you. And let's get to it. Let's get to it, man.
Let's do it.
I want to actually start with a question that nobody cares about, that I think is the most important thing of all. Why? Why in the world would you actually try to start a project from the ground up? Most of them fail. It's not always the best idea. And here you are trying to create something new. Why did you kick this off in the first place?
It's a sickness, man. It really, starting things up, entrepreneurship, all that stuff. It's addictive. It's a sickness. And when you see a need or you see, something that you could provide that's of value, I mean, I don't want to be kicking myself for not going for things, and the right opportunity had just come up. So what really kind of drove the initial idea was having my son, when my firstborn son was born, all kinds of documents and stuff that I need to keep track of that I don't really trust myself with, and I don't trust a lot of the services out there with, just because I know of all the data breaches that happen. So just going through and doing research on pretty much anywhere I could store all this information to get it later. And whenever I needed, either had one of two things. There was master keys to whatever solution was out there, right? So that means pretty much for people that don't follow, it's pretty much that they can go in and get access to your data whenever they want. The centralized authority that you're using, whether it's Google or Amazon or whatever, they pretty much have access to anything you put on there. So I definitely didn't want that. And I also didn't sorry, I got a little tongue tied. So yeah, the centralization of that, and then crypto just has a way of doing things that are extra private for everybody. And the problem is just it's not very easy getting on board with that. So just thinking of all the ways to do something, we came around after about 50 iterations of mind mapping and stuff like that. We came out with the Docushield solution. So that is, using crypto technology, but in a way that makes it easy for the average user to come on and start an account and, host whatever they need to use. And that has opened up a world of seeing other needs for privacy and for security out there. That's just been exciting, man. So there's been a definite need, been a definite want, not only in the business to customer scenario, but also in the business to business scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. And yeah, that entrepreneurship, I think, is what this, crypto space is filled with right now. And now it's time to bring everybody else in. And you kind of alluded to it, that you're trying to make this a simple solution. And I guess this is what it really piqued my interest, because, yeah, I've been in crypto for a long, long time. But at the same time, I understand that mass adoption can happen unless solutions that are created welcome the newcomers, and it's made easy enough to bring new blood in. How are you guys making that happen?
Yeah, man. I mean, when you onboard people into Web3, you got to use what they're used to. You got to use Web2 methods, right? And so, my mom, I'm a crypto fanatic, man, and I have a great relationship with my mom, and so I use her as my soundboard. for, why? Because she knows how much I love crypto, how I get into it, and the positives that have come out of it. And I've tried to onboard her, and like her at a certain point, her eyes just go blank. She's like, okay, like I'm not going to do this. And so like really, I'm trying to make a solution that's easy to use for my mom, and that she'll be able to go in. So she's like my every man sounding board. And one app that she absolutely loves is the TouchTunes app. So when she goes or to a restaurant or a bar or something, she'll put on her, connect her TouchTunes to the jukebox, and you pretty much on that. Like if you want to play a song, you buy a credit, right? And then you'll buy like a block of 10 credits, and for $5, and then you'll play a couple songs, and then it'll say, hey, you need more credits to play this song. And it's kind of that pay as you go model, which is something that we really was a necessity, because I hate being locked out of stuff when I can't afford and I have to pick and choose between solutions. Anyway, so I think onboarding the rest of the world is using something that they're used to, and we're really using that credit type system to really approach people, and a Web 2 login. So with our app right now, you have the ability to come in and log in with Google, and or log in with Facebook, or create your account with Twitter. Either any of those methods that people are just like click and they're done and they're in and they can get down to business. And then we call that our basic account. We also have the anonymous account, which is the good old fashioned crypto, seed phrase login, and if you lose this, you're locked out forever type of deal. But I think what's past that, that's going to be helping, bring people on board really, really quick. Now, also with the payments, I don't want to have people come in and say, all right, I need to buy this, and now I need to swap it for this. So we're going to be using our fiat onboarding, our on-ramp, to buy blocks of the doc token. So right when they try to upload, one of their documents, it'll say, okay, this is going to cost, 0.5 of a doc token. And it'll say, do you want to, add to your account? And you can add $10 worth of doc tokens, $25 worth of doc tokens, 50, 100. We'll have a few different options. So make it easy. Click on one. Boom, the transaction happens. All of a sudden, you got doc in your wallet. Now, anytime you upload a document or try to secure anything, it'll just kind of eat away and chip at that balance. And when that balance is depleted, it'll just give you an alert and say, hey, you're out of doc token. Would you like to purchase more? Kind of really similar to that, TouchTunes model. And there's a lot of models, credit-based or credits-based models, business models. And I think, just something that people are familiar with like that is going to be the best way to get the tech in their hands. And then after that, we can slowly kind of introduce them to Web3 and to crypto. And it's like, oh, yeah, hey, by the way, this is kind of the technology under it. And Coinbase does a great job of doing that. When you join them and they just have those little pop-ups, it's like, want to learn more about crypto and, learn about Stellar, learn about this chain. And, it piques your interest. And all of a sudden you're taking that dive in. And that's what we want,
Awesome. So basically, get people to use something that they're already accustomed to, and then
Exactly.
introduce them to the blockchain space. That's
Hmm.
awesome.
Yeah.
Now you did mention these doc tokens, and I think this is a perfect time to actually talk about why we have Afonso here on this call. Um,
Hmm.
so doc tokens are going to be purchasable right, when everything goes live on the app. But right now, if people want to get in early, and I always say that the earlier you get in, the better off you're going to be as far as investments go in this space. What does that look like if people want to get in? Because I think the registration just opened yesterday, right? So if you can tell us what's up, Doc.
Yeah, as for the registration for the IDO, it opened yesterday. The registration phase will go until the June 1st. And then anyone who wants to participate needs to register it until then. For people who hold KDL, I'm sure that you already know, but there's guaranteed allocations according to tiers, and some lottery tickets for people who don't hold enough for the guaranteed allocations. But anyone can register and expect to have access on the fair distribution round if the sale doesn't sell out until then. So what you need to do if you want to participate, just go to the KDLaunch website, register an account. You need to do KYC, and then you need to register on the project's page. until the June 1st. And yeah, if you have a whitelist, if you want to whitelist with any of our contests, you need to register all the same. You just lock 0 KDL, and if you don't have a whitelist and want to participate on the fair distribution round, you just lock 0 KDL all the same. And so, but if you want a better chance, just buy some KDL according to the tiers, and you can guarantee your allocation.
Awesome. And Adrian, I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Don't worry. I'll go ahead and kick Afonso if you have bad things to say. But why did you decide to launch your token with these guys?
Yeah, so that's kind of like an easy answer. They were the first people, they're the first movers in the Kadena space, and it was really cool to see what they were doing. Like when I really, we were working on this a little bit before, we started our Twitter account and all that, doing our own proof of concept and stuff. But I had followed Kadena and stuff from mining on one of my personal accounts, and just kind of seeing the way they were moving. And we watched the KDL launch. We watched, and all the pads kind of did their launch, and then Tempe came up right away, and for KDL, and it was just a quality project, man. And it was just something really cool to see a use case like them. Being put out there, and then the community embracing it. And I'm still very bullish on Tempe. For people that don't know what they are, I mean, check it out. It's a decentralized search engine that's creating their own index to use. So yeah, that really piqued my interest. And then when I did finally come across and start talking with KDL, I was just like super surprised that they were interested in Docushield. And I was like, I was amazed. And they've been nothing but professional and kind the whole time, and it's been just a great experience. But really just quality, and they already have set themselves up with a great brand, and I'm just honored to work with them, really.
Back at you, man. And to be honest, yeah, of course we want Docushield on our side, man. The use case for Docushield is amazing. Like Action said, it's needed for the space, and of course we jumped on the opportunity right away, because we know it's going to be a success, 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Adrian, you've been doing spaces. You've been going interviewing with a bunch of people. It's been kind of wild. I just want to rest you at ease a little bit. Everything that goes on KDLaunch sells out. You know that, right?
I've seen, man. I've seen, but I'm still tossing and turning, man.
No, but it's good. It's good. Like, it's actually really awesome having somebody that's willing to talk about the project, not just like, oh, let me talk about how awesome this is. It's like, no, we're working through X, Y, and Z as well, and we're going to get there. We're working on this, working on that. It's that honesty and that transparency. And it's something I actually talked about on the video that I put out yesterday. Like, I was kind of amazed at that voucher transparency that I saw on your documentation. Like, I mean, honestly, it blew me away. I was like, wait, they're going to do what? Can you tell people what that's all about?
Yeah, man. Yeah. And so, I mean, coming from the regular business world, and thank you for all the compliments. So our voucher transparency is pretty much to be able to open up our books and everything, like, to people that are investing into the community. So, I mean, it's kind of like a normal thing, and, in the business world to be open. So like, I have a restaurant, and every quarter we get together and we go through the ledger and we take a look at every single transaction that happens. And we're like, okay, cool. What was this? All right. Why did we make this purchase? And was it necessary? And would we do it again? And so these are things that, just as, a partner or an investor inside of a company, I think I've always wanted to see in crypto, because I've been investing in ICOs for a while, and it comes to a point where, you invest your money, and then all of a sudden it's like radio silence from then on. And, that's frustrating. And in the real world, that wouldn't happen, because somebody would be at your doorstep, man. And they'd be like, hey, so we did all this for you. What's going on? I want to be able...
This is the real world, man. Like, I will be at your doorstep. Yeah. I will be.
Yeah, no. I mean, the the outside of the computer on Web3 space. But yeah, I think you get it, man. Oh man, I
Adrian,
would welcome it, dude. But anyway, yeah. So we want to be able to do the same thing. I mean, you guys are putting your money in with us, and I mean, honestly, it's not something I take lightly. I bootstrapped quite a few ventures, man, and it is difficult, man. It's difficult, and the only way we're gonna really get to where we want to go is with the help of the community. And whether we hit the hard cap or hit the soft cap, dude, anything we do, we are going to use, and we are going to, man. It's not my first time on a shoestring budget, and so we are going to make it work, and I've already talked to my team about that. It's like, you know what, let's not stress on the numbers, even though it's hard not to. Let's just focus on the goal here. What's going to happen as soon as that funding comes in, and we already have a plan. And no matter what the amount is, we are going to make sure that it works to accomplish our goals. So there's just things that, if we have this amount, then we can go a little further on this side. And, because there's now that it's been growing and the idea has been spread and we actually have a product that's usable, our MVP, it's like, okay, cool. Now that costed this much. Now to finalize it, it's going to be about this much. And then we can start working on our infrastructure, which is going to take us, to this place and this place. So, I mean, building the roadmap out is it's amazing to be able to do that. But yeah, man, the transparency, I want everybody to see, what exactly we're doing. And if we're saying we're going to do something, you don't just have to take my word for it. You can go on our dashboard and connect to that, and you'll be able to see the different wallets that we have and the transactions coming out of those. We're going to, just ping the API and have all the transactions display for each wallet. And if you have a question about a certain transaction, then you can just submit a ticket to us, and we'll get back to you with the information about that. My admin, Kadena, she is amazing at keeping track and doing all the bookkeeping and stuff. I'm bringing her over from our restaurant because she's just that person that is on top of it, and she keeps me in line all the time because sometimes I tend to go a little wild with my
You know what?
ideas and
I'm
yeah.
gonna get into the details as far as like the Docushield, and like I actually want to hear about sharding and how you're keeping things safe. But you just mentioned the restaurant again. Most restaurants fail, and I think this is really relatable to your project because I would throw my money blindly at a project if I know who's running it. So
Mhm.
like the person behind it means a lot to me because if there's no trust there, it's pointless. I mean, what's why would I, invest my hard-earned money into something that will probably fail, Luna 2.0. Um,
Mhm.
it's one of those things that like that matters to me quite a bit. So restaurants fail all the time.
Oh
It is
my
the
God.
riskiest industry to get into.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually looked your restaurant up, and your reviews are like pretty awesome. How
Thanks,
did you make
dude.
that successful? And does that translate into the tactics that you're implementing for DocuShoot as well?
Yeah, yeah, man. I think work ethic translates to anything that you try and do. And, that's one thing I do look for in my team. And thank you. I mean, for checking us out, man. And I take a lot of pride in our feedback that we get. And we're, 4.5 or 5 stars on every platform. So, I mean, that doesn't come, easy. So, I mean, you really have to work at it. You have to be attentive to your customers. And no matter what I do, man, I take the deep dive in and I let it totally consume me. And I mean, going through 2 COVID shutdowns and, customers being afraid to go out and stuff. I mean, we've had to work on a super, super tight shoestring budget because I mean, we didn't bootstrap that. I mean, with millions, we literally have been on a shoestring since the day we opened. So, that's kind of the way entrepreneurship goes, man. You got to be willing to take that risk and work really freaking hard. Yeah, so that I think applies to anything. And now, during my last little time off when my son was born, I was able to dive back into crypto. And I've always been so afraid of just kind of not being there all the time at the restaurant, that, I thought, maybe things would crumble and stuff. But it's been great to see that, my team's been able to perform well and keep up the standards we set. And I mean, keep the doors open, So that's given me the time to focus all of my attention over on DocuShield and my newborn. And it's been just an amazing experience. I'm very grateful for the people I have around me that are hardworking, and it's the culture we have down there. It's just really, it really pushes that work ethic.
Awesome. Yeah, and like work ethic is something that I mean, it's not. it's not easy to find nowadays. I guess that's the best way for me to put it. And when you
Mhm.
have it, finding that team around you does make all the difference in the world that can actually support you in your endeavor. So it sounds like things are moving forward the right way. But let's get into the nerdy stuff about this whole Docushield thing. We're going to be different than, Dropbox or Google Drive. And I understand how you're trying to make this a more secure platform.
Sure.
What is going to be what's going to make the difference? What will, set you apart as far as security beyond just those master keys that people forget about, that your account can be changed over and somebody else can have your data? What makes you different beyond that?
Yeah, no, great question. So, what makes us different beyond that is first, it's every transaction we're going to be able to see on the blockchain. So, there's no way to, it's indisputable. You can't say something didn't happen or something's not there. You see where everything is going, and you can, it leaves a trail behind. So that's something that's obviously not offered by other people utilizing this Web3 technology. And then also it's the community driven part that really separates us. So, without people participating in our network, then this app isn't possible, right? So to kind of break it down for people who aren't really too familiar with the way we have our setup, once you encrypt the documents that you're using, you get a key file, you get your regular file that is now encrypted, and those are pushed up to separate private IPFS networks. And so IPFS is pretty much a peer-to-peer storage solution. So you'll create a network, and you'll all, share this ledger and update this ledger, and the items that you upload get something called a CID, a content ID. And so creating these networks, I mean, if you don't have people participating, then they're not gonna exist pretty much. If too many people go offline, then that document's lost, or it could be lost because there's no network support. So, having the ability to, when building the project and putting together the tokenomics, really think about community incentive and community participation was fun. And I think that's what really sets Web3 apart, is the decentralization and being able to get everybody involved. And in this instance, being involved means running an IPFS instance and helping contribute to this wide network that we're building.
So hang on, you're talking about contributing. That to me translates into either mining or, mining through nodes. Is that what you're
Yeah,
alluding
I
to?
mean, yeah, that's what they're referred to. Really is nodes, and the way it works is you launch this program called IPFS on your system, and you allocate a certain amount of storage for it to utilize, and then you connect to this peer-to-peer network that's private. So there's public IPFS that anybody can get into. Then there's your own private networks that connects everybody through the network's secret key. So that key you use to connect with the entire rest of the network, and then you're using the available storage space that you determine you want to use to help distribute that data and update that ledger and keep the network running. So yeah, mining, or node running, or whatever you want to call it, I think it has the same end result. We're going to reward you for your contributions to our network.
That's awesome. Now you're talking about an application. This is something that you guys are, is in the works right now.
uh
Now,
yeah
with that,
something, um,
is it ready?
No. We have our MVP, our proof of concept. So
Okay.
that's out there, and we're testing, getting feedback right now from our closed group of testers. And in the next week, as we approach this, further into the IDO, I do want to just put open availability for testing. So leave a download to an APK, and then like everybody can get in and try and use it. But we're not yet doing the whole private network thing. So the public IPFS was just kind of proof of concept to get the technology integrated with our app. Now, the step that we're going to take for the next version is going to be on those private networks, right? Getting those networks put together and then having people on them. So we're really going to be relying on, the community and some of the projects in the community that I've been talking to lock down some tokens that we're going to provide for them, and then host host these instances of IPFS that are dedicated and you know, with an agreement that they're going to be, those tokens we provide will be staked for, you know, 2 years or 5 years or whatever our agreed upon term is, while they can get the rewards in exchange. Then after that term is up, in 2 years, 5 years, whatever's set, you know, the node belongs to them to either keep going. The tokens belong to them to either keep going and you know, participating, or to withdraw and cash out. I mean, but really, that's going to help us create that stability that we're going to need right from the start. And
Right. So here's, you talked about a lot about community, talking about building something,
yeah,
and the biggest question, you know, that always comes up to me is it secure? And if it's not secure, something that I always love to see is having the community assist with making sure things are good to go. So
absolutely.
is there going to be a bounty program,
Mhm.
you know, when it comes to the coding and making sure that things are reliable, that things are being put together the right way?
Absolutely, man. So that's definitely on our roadmap to do a bounty, a bug bounty. Also, we're going to be using some of the funds that we're getting from our IDO to do paid for penetration testing. So we're going to try and really break the system that we have in as many ways as possible. And if people participate and find a vulnerability, that's, I mean, for us, we want to see it as a positive thing. It's like, okay, cool. We found this weakness. Now, before we're out here and, you know, pushing this to the masses, this is exactly what betas and alphas are for, to find these items, identify them, and then fix them and make your application stronger. So most definitely we are going to be doing that. We're also going to be you know, putting out an underlying platform and you know, for add-ons and plugins and stuff. So we're going to be running a hackathon as well to kind of contribute. And you know, a lot of people have been coming to me with some amazing ideas, and you know, there are builders out there that I could really envision you know, being participants and coming with their own little privacy solutions for specific scenarios. So, I mean, really, that's what gets me excited about Web3, is just being able to have this community-driven stuff. And you know, on Kadena, people have been just wanting it. It's been great. You know, they've been wanting to participate. They want to run nodes. They want to get these instances set up, and you know, so. I mean, that is I mean, you can't buy that. You know, that's something that just comes with such an amazing group of, you know, entrepreneurs and community members that Kadena has.
Yeah, no, I mean, just this whole ecosystem that's being built around Kadena is amazing. It's been fantastic to see everybody kind of coming together and, you know, creating something incredible here. I'm really impressed with what's been, you know, kind of taking place. Um, now,
I've never seen a blockchain that's similar, like in that fashion, where the community is so tight knit and everybody's rooting for each other, and you know, I mean, it's amazing to see.
except when it comes to the Olympics. I mean, I know everybody's rooting for
Then the
themselves
trash
over there.
talking sports, yeah. Every man
If
for
you got,
himself after that.
yeah, if you guys aren't aware, there's an Olympics going on this weekend, and there's a bunch of different teams from the Kadena community, and it's a bunch of our little arcade games, and that is one of the platforms that I can almost guarantee you that Docushield will not succeed.
Yeah, no, yeah, I am horrible at games. So I definitely won't be participating at all, but yeah, but you know, yeah, not putting all my eggs in that basket. But I mean, we got some players signed up, and we got a pretty good team put together. So I mean, let's tear it up, man. Work hard, play
Awesome.
at it. Yep.
And here's a quick question for you that I don't think you probably get. What do you want to tell people that you never get asked?
Um, huh. You know, if they don't ask me, man, I do a pretty good job about just about speaking my mind. What do I want to tell people that I don't get asked? You know, we are looking for talent. That's one thing I know that I don't get asked a lot, and we definitely are. I mean, we're growing our team, we're building it, making it stronger, and you know, after the IDO, we're really going to go full on building this underlying infrastructure. So yeah, one thing I don't get is, are you guys hiring? And yes, man, we are looking for talent. We're looking for people, you know, not only that know Pact and that know smart contracts, but that maybe, you know, software developers and have built APIs, have built SDKs, have have experience with different languages and putting together microservices and managing events and databases and stuff like that. Yeah, that's probably the the main one I think that I can think of off the top of my head.
Cool. Yeah, and like none of this was prepped. I just want to make sure that we could get on and actually have a real conversation. So that's why that was definitely a curveball on purpose.
You gotta keep me on my toes, bro.
No, it's good. It's good. Now, bounties are good. Mining is great.
Hmm.
What are the next steps after this IDO? Which I mean, I'm sure with the number of people that have already registered on this thing, it's going to get sold out. What's the next step after that?
The next step is hiring. So we've laid out the groundwork, and it's really based on where we fall in the IDO. If we max out and if we get our hard cap, then that opens a lot more doors because the next step is pretty much moving forward the completion of the app, and then also getting our infrastructure laid out and bootstrapped and getting the people behind it for that. So right now I got a team of about 5 people that are on pretty much like full time, and then we have some contracted developers and stuff, and we're looking to just kind of expand, and we have some places that we're looking to do that in. And so that's really the next step, depending on if we hit our soft cap or if we hit our hard cap, or where we land. That's going to really determine what the roadmap looks like for us, but definitely finalizing the app and getting the infrastructure laid out for our backbone platform.
Cool. And I mean, I've been following that roadmap both on your website and the white paper, and you guys have been kind of hitting all the marks that you set for yourselves, which is a great thing, especially in the space where everybody like delays things.
Yeah,
Out
yeah.
of out of all of those things, the node operation is definitely the one that I'm always looking forward to the most.
Hmm.
Um, Node operators and
Hmm.
onboarding nodes. All of
Yes.
that, everything is this year still. So we're about halfway through the year. So you're talking about within 6 months, everybody's going to be up and running. Is that still accurate, you think?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, the way we've been working, the way the team that I have has been putting in the time, like, I mean, this isn't a side project really for anybody on my team right now. This is kind of full on. Like I'm breaking my bank and we are depleting and we are going full force right now. It'll be nice not to break my bank with the help of all you guys any further because my girlfriend just looks at me every month and she's like, dude, like, what is going on? What what are you doing? We have a newborn. But yeah, so that's just gonna open up a lot of doors. And I do think that we're gonna be able to stick to that roadmap just because the work ethic, like I said, is one thing that I definitely look for. And yeah, we've been studying up on IPFS a lot. We're gonna definitely be able to get that network going. And the plan behind that is also having the graphical user interface behind that when it launches as well, because I don't want there to be this crazy barrier of entrance for people that aren't that into the tech and they just want a good passive income play. So having a good graphical user interface is very important to me. I've spent a lot of time researching and talking to people that are current node operators on different networks and that mine different places, and just seeing, and I know myself, I've tried a few of these things and just seeing how complex things can get can really push people away. So that's a huge thing as well, and something that we're working on right now is tying in that graphical interface to make this easy for people to launch. Putting together these containerized solutions that you can just say, okay, cool, let's launch it. Here's the secret key for the network that you're going to be participating in. Boom, let's tie into that and kind of already start participating. So um yeah, man, I mean, the methods and the puzzle pieces are all there, and we're slowly just putting them all together, and I think we're going to be able to hit all the points that we've put out there.
That's awesome. That's exciting. Now, I mean, everybody knows that I'm perfect and I have all the right questions to ask, but I'm sure there's more people in here that want to know more about what you're doing. So just want to open it up and, ask if anybody has any questions, feel free to request to speak. If, Twitter cooperates and lets me do this thing, I will do it. If you, um, Adrian or Alfonso, see it and can bring people up, I made you guys co-host so you can help out with that as well, because I see a request, it says one request, but I don't actually see anybody requesting because
Twitter's crazy like that. Yeah. It's nuts.
So just want to make sure I open that up and let everybody know that, hey, if you got a question, come on up. Alfonso, I want to make sure that you got all your ducks in a row there, and you have everything else outlined. Anything else you want to share about KDLaunch and the way that this IDO is taking place? Ooh, all right. I keep getting.
Keep dancing.
Sorry, you broke up there, Adrian. Say that again.
I was just saying he's probably dancing.
Oh, I got you. That does make sense. We did have that conversation, and I just got that request popping up again, but I can't see who's actually requesting it. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't see any buddy requesting, honestly.
I see a request, but I don't see somebody requesting at the same time. Hey, if you got a question, do me a favor. Throw up, and what's the emoji you guys can do? Throw up, one of the peace sign emojis. Oh, Rory got. Is that you, Rory? Give me a peace sign. Can you do a peace sign if you're the one asking to speak up? Just because Twitter is acting up like crazy. Good seeing you, Rory, by the way. I'll do one better. Here's what I'm gonna do. Wait. Alfonso, you want to talk? Go ahead. You can talk, man. I mean, your line is open.
Nope.
And that's the other thing with Twitter Spaces. Sometimes it does kind of like not let people do what they want to do.
Absolutely. It's a frustration. There's a new challenge every time with Twitter Spaces, honestly.
It's one of those things, like it's a great feature, but at the same time it's a working feature of theirs at the same time, which is quite interesting.
Oh, we got somebody right here.
Oh, it popped up.
K Bamboo B. I'm gonna go ahead and approve. Go ahead, Action. You can take him.
He's connecting. There's always the delay, and that's the worst. When you come up as a speaker, you miss probably 3 seconds, and you don't know what's going on until you get up here. So let's see if they come up or if they get booted. They just got booted, it looked like.
Beautiful. That's
the wonders of spaces. Yeah, hopefully he can come back, and we'll definitely bring him up if there's something going on there.
Yeah, we were talking with Kadena Bet earlier this week, and Steven's probably one of the smartest guys I've ever had the opportunity to talk to, and he was about to throw his phone out the window. It sounded like trying to connect to Twitter Spaces. I'm like, so if he's having problems, man, come on, we need to do some work on this thing.
I know. That's the next step. We can build that next on Kadena.
Yep. Centralized Spaces, man. I love it.
Yeah, it'll be a matter of people voting, like who stays, who goes.
Mm-hmm. There we go. That's. I'm gonna let you. Maybe we both tried to approve at once. I'm gonna let you do the next request. I see a request.
I just did the approval there.
All right.
Hey, Fernando.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hi guys. I was speaking to Alfonso. He's saying he's not able to chat. I don't know why. Maybe is he locked out? Maybe.
No, he's set up as a co-host, so he should be able to actually come in here. I think he's coming in.
Okay.
As Katie Swap. Katie Swap is also requesting. I appreciate you letting us know because it's a fun little application.
Yeah, because he's there.
I'm on Katie Swap right now. Katie Swap account because KDLaunch account just got completely
booted.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It was me trying to ask you to speak because I was co-host, but I wasn't able to speak. So I was trying to ask you to add me again, but it wasn't working. So I'm here now.
Gotcha.
For as long as the application doesn't crash. So thanks, Fernando, for helping out.
Wait. So hang on. You just got in as KD Swap. You were in KDLaunch. Does that mean that we're going to be able to trade doc tokens on KD Swap?
Wow. Yeah. Now that you mentioned, of course, as soon as they're available, as the TGA is done, we'll list them. Of course. We want to have all of the Kadena tokens in there, and of course, Docushield as partners and launching will have full access as soon as they can to the DEX, of course.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. So it's going to be one of those things that's actually easy to swap, doc tokens. It won't be a matter of like, oh, how do I go in? How do I do this? It would be something that's readily available.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So after the IDO, how long until the token becomes, publicly traded?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and I'll go ahead and take that one. So we're having 2 rounds of our IDO. The first one is to finish up the development and really bootstrap the development of the product. The second one is going to be for marketing. When you're in the same ring with the big boys like Dropbox and Drive and stuff, although it's a different type of solution, there's still competitors. I mean, that's going to take some money to get into and some good networking, like with, people like Timpy and stuff who will provide a platform for us to do that. But anyway, that's going to, IDO 2 is going to be geared towards marketing and kind of to the masses and bringing them on to Kadena. So they're going to be at the latest, the token launch is going to be released October 1st. That's because we don't know when exactly the dates for IDO number 2 are. So we're going for 3 months from the closeout of our IDO is ideally when we want to release the tokens. But, I definitely don't want to say 3 months. And then when the 3 months hits on the nose, people are like, hey, what's going on, man? So I know that we will, no matter what. Nothing's going to stop us from having that release on October 1st, and we just got to get on it, whether no matter kind of what happens. So that is our date. It's a little over 3 months, but that's the absolute latest. And this whole time, people that do buy from IDO number 1 are going to be earning a 12% APR on their investment. And so when it is released at the latest October 1st, you'll have that APR that you've collected along the way released as well.
I mean, that means right there, as soon as that releases, you're up 3% guaranteed from the amount that you had earlier.
Right, exactly. You're up.
That's a win.
Like a bonus, right? Like a sign-up bonus.
Exactly. That's what it sounds like. I mean, you're buying 10 and getting 13.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that's, I mean, we built that into our tokenomics, to have rewards out there, just because, I mean, we really appreciate people, taking that leap of faith with us, and we definitely want to reward them. Awesome.
Now, KDA that is requesting, you know him. Are we okay? Are we okay adding him?
Yeah, no, dude, we're all going to come out better men. That's for sure. Let's get...
All right. Oh, he connected, and right away. Look at that. Does it actually work? Go ahead.
Go on.
Hi, Adrian. I have a practical question about Docushield.
Sure.
Pertaining to KYC. So, a lot of businesses like ours and like insurance, like really, really big plays on blockchain, need to know your customer to work with agencies like the SEC and local governmental jurisdictions and their regulation departments. So particularly in sports betting, it's highly, highly regulated. And the only way to accrue value in a token is to have bulletproof KYC. Can you speak a little bit to Docushield and its kind of, it may not be built yet, but speak a little bit to your KYC solution, because that's how, you could probably, collab with guys like us and other highly regulated industries to drive a lot of our tokens into your wallet, or various other types of tokens.
Yeah. Okay. So no, great question. So for the initial KYC that we're doing for the IDO, that is handled by KDLaunch's partners. I know the name of the company. It's slipping my mind right now.
Fractal.
What was that? Fractal, right? Fractal, there we go. Right before when you said it, I remember. Yeah. So Fractal is going to be handling that. Now, as far as KYC for the application itself, we haven't really got to that point yet. I have talked to companies that perform KYC and about integration with the app, and right from the get, the people I had talked to is just ridiculously out of my price range. So we're like, okay, we're gonna circle back at that when we got a little bit more funding to actually see how to manage people and make it kind of legal in that form. But if we're talking just about the SEC and not being labeled a security right from the get-go with the app, I mean, the steps are everything's really gray area right now, I'm sure, as you know yourself. And one of the things we're really holding true to, and one of the obviously we're looking at things in the Howey test and trying to find our fit, where we do pass and we are not seen as a security. But one of the things that the Safe Harbor Act, which was proposed last year, would require if you were to be labeled not a security, would be that even if you take money as seed funding or raise money with an IDO, if you are a self-sustainable company within the first year of launching, then that would qualify you to not be seen as a security. So that's really something that, I mean, it's not going to the end all be all right now, but it's something that we're aiming towards to at least try the best on our side to be compliant and not be hit the way we see some of these awesome projects like Library, for instance, being hit. So it's really important that we find our bearings and we get to market quick and that we are profitable within that first year's timing. And then after that, we are going to be it's going to open up a lot of different doors for us, so it's really that roadmap we need to stick to it in order to accomplish those goals that are, beyond just whether or not the app is released, but have a lot to do with our standing as a token and being able to, how we're looked at by regulations or regulators.
And part of the question too was, let me just be specific. So imagine that we want to bring on a user in Florida. And
sure.
Florida has let us have bettors on our platform, and we pay them a fee or whatever it is, their taxes. Now we need to check that person is from Florida. So we're kind of thinking that maybe Docushield has a solution for uploading personal documents, and then we could pay to have Docushield check that person is indeed from Florida.
Yeah. Us being kind of having a solution for KYC, that would be amazing. And one of the end goals that I've always wanted for Docushield is exactly that. For us to be able to hold these credentials that would be able to allow you to verify that. And one of the ways that we see being able to achieve that is being able to integrate with IDME. Which is a solution that provides verification that you are who you say you are, and they exist here in the States. Now, that's definitely a long road to get there, and there are other solutions that aren't, they aren't accredited and looked at, by the government as really. Something that you can use that they respect, but IDME is one of those things that is supported and by the government. So although it may be a long road, that's the end goal, to have that type of integration. And the only way we're going to do that is by taking those first steps towards compliance and abiding by whatever they put out there that we need to. But yeah, in the end, man, absolutely, that was one of the first things that kind of came to mind, is being able to have your digital ID and us support that, and that be respected, no matter if you went on a gaming platform or if you went to the corner market.
Thank you. That's a great answer. Perfect.
No problem, man. Thank you for coming on, dude. Nice to talk to you.
And I guess something that you actually just brought on by saying that is, are these documents always safe when they're getting uploaded? That's something that just made me think about this, because you were talking about your documents early on, how to store these things. Now, if we're doing KYC and all these different platforms, that's something that I don't know how, secure those documents are either. That's something that totally makes sense. So I think, KDA makes a great point as far as the security aspect of this, knowing that your stuff isn't gonna be, accessible by other people. I mean, in this industry, I mean, industries in general that you've been in the past, what does it look like as far as customer data? Like, is it readily available? Can anybody in the company kind of see it? Is it, the people share it? What's been your experience with that?
Yes. So, I mean, I've done a lot of contract work for, banks and print companies and, government entities alike. And it really surprises me, man, how quick they are, when we do our marketing programs to, onboard new customers or whatever, or, get back old customers. It surprises the hell out of me how easy they are to just give me so much personal data. Like, it's like not even like they just exported it from their system and sent it over, and they didn't bother to wipe anything that might be, like if I'm trying to fraud these people, like, yeah, man, like I have all the tools to do that. So, I mean, it is. And then a lot of the times, dude, these people don't even think twice about it, and it's an honest mistake. And, I go through and clean the data before, uploading it into our automation platform and all that. But yeah, dude, it's just scary how easily kind of that information is just passed over to you. And, in many of these instances, it's people that have come by, have been recommended to me by word of mouth. And it's, a bank on the East Coast. And I haven't even met any of these people yet. So I mean, yeah, it surprises me and it's crazy that happens. But, hopefully we can piece together a solution that makes data transfer like that in a B2B scenario a lot more secure. And, we'll put some best practices in there that people need to follow when transferring that data. So huge thing. And I don't think that in many instances when data is leaked like that, I don't think it's malicious at all. I think it's people just not even realizing what they have in their hands and what they're handing over.
Yeah, no, it totally makes sense. It's, ignorance is bliss to those people. They're just like, let me, the image that always comes to my head is a little girl walking in her dad on CNN or BBC actually, just walking in like it's any good old, other day. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with dad. It's like these people just sending out files like, oh, this is just what we do. It's like, no, that's not good. That's not how this industry should work.
No, not at all, man. Not at all. So we need to make it easy, for that to kind of walk people through it, just like anything. Onboarding people with an easy UI and UX, it makes all the world of difference, and informing people in a way that's not difficult to understand,
Yeah, and you mentioned B2B, and I think that's where a lot of the money is.
Right.
And whenever I'm putting my money into any project, I'm always looking at, all right, when does it become highly profitable? And I think that's where there's a lot of money to be made in this industry. I know you're starting with consumers to make this, to make sure that this thing works, that it's, reliable, it's secure. Is there a business goal in the long or short term of Docushield?
Yeah, man, definitely. And that's the whole reason we are going forward with really building out this infrastructure that we're going to be able to build on top of, a privacy centric and security centric infrastructure. Because, since we've kind of went live with this thing and, went public with our Twitter and picked up some traction, I've been hit up by more than a handful of companies that have just said pretty much like, hey, if I give you $250,000 or $500,000, how fast can we get this, in our working on our system? And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, dude. Like, we're still putting together, our MVP for public use, and that we're going to learn a lot through that process. And I'm definitely up forward and up front and transparent with them about where we're at. But yeah, we see the need to build it, and we definitely are going to. That's the next step when we're putting together this backline infrastructure, is to support a B2B scenario, make it just as secure, but kind of cater to things that come up when you're running business to business, like data localization decentralization and privacy laws, addressing those and being compliant with those. So that's pretty much like the next thing on the roadmap after the app is after the infrastructure is built, just creating that solution that we can bring in a B2B scenario.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds amazing. And here's why. I would say that, 8 out of 10 projects being built right now on, on the blockchain space, they are building something expecting that somebody is going to want it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the other way around. People already want it. So you're building it for those people. So it's like people are going to, try to create something, then, hunt down sales. It sounds like, the sales opportunities are knocking on your door, and it's just a matter of having the product, finalized for it to be able to go out there, which is,
Absolutely.
backwards in the way that most people are doing it. So you're not literally chasing sales and, having to spend that money to try to sell your product. The demand is already there, which is a great sign.
Yeah, I mean, that makes me a lot more like kind of at ease in the direction that we're going, because I know that it's going to be money well invested developing this platform and this backbone to build on top of. Just because the need's there, man. It's wild. I've done quite a few businesses, and none of them have had people knocking at the door like this one, as far as saying like, I want this now. Let's get it together and take my money, please. Just give me a solution.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right. I know we just hit, we just hit an hour here. So here's how I want to close off. I want to give something to somebody on here. Let's do $50 worth of KDA. Here's a question for you. The capital of Brazil is Brasilia. You knew that, right? Of course you knew that.
Was that me?
Yeah, you. Of
No,
course.
Brasilia? Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. It's the capital of Brazil.
I knew that. I lived there.
That sounds almost like a trick question. It's like Americana, the capital. Yeah.
I mean, it's just how things roll. Now, if you can pick a number, where are we at? Let me just double check here so I can actually give you the right number to pick, so I can actually pick the right people, because I promised I was going to give away KDA, and I want to do so. A number between, let's say, the 4 and 15.
Ooh. Go with that.
You broke up, so if you said a number I didn't hear you, what number was that?
13. 1-3.
1-3. 3. Okay. All right. I already got the person here. Web3 is there. That's the person who's going to get it. Now, only if you answer this question correctly. So if the capital of Brazil is Brasilia, can you name one of the wonders of the world?
Web3.
You broke up again, Adrian.
Web3. I can name one. It's the Grand Canyon, right?
Is it the Grand Canyon?
So yeah, Grand Canyon, one of them. I'm pretty sure.
Let's take a look. Now there are only 7, and I don't remember the Grand Canyon being one of them.
Damn. Oh, I just messed that up. Web3.
You literally just lost this guy $50.
That's horrible, dude.
That's awful. That's awful. But he's got a second chance.
That's horrible. Yeah.
Alfonso, you can be the backup here.
Great Wall of China.
All right, he wins.
All right, awesome.
I got you, man. I got you.
That goes to prove that Adrian doesn't go anywhere and just focuses on building this thing.
I'm horrible at trivia, dude. That was the worst way to end this for me.
No. Quite the opposite. That was the best way to end this. because that means that you don't know everything, and
Oh,
it's okay
absolutely.
not to know everything.
For sure. I'm really good at that, man.
Awesome, guys. Hey, anything else you guys want to close off with? How do they get to this whole platform for the launch, the IDO, links?
For the IDO, just head on to KDLaunch.com. You need to register, as I said before. You need to do KYC, and then there's a little page that's projects under Launchpad projects, and then Docushield is the only active project right now. So you just head on to there, and the process is really simple. We actually have a tutorial that we did yesterday. So if you head on to our YouTube channel, KDLaunch, you can see the tutorial on how to buy KDL and how to register for the IDO. Really simple, really easy. So no excuse to not get some Docushield, man. You should.
There we go.
Awesome. And Adrian, what's the best way to keep up with the Docushield app and see the progress?
Yeah, man. The best way I'd say is the Twitter. So follow our Twitter at Docushield. We put everything up on there. It's like our main mode for communicating with the community. And then we base our website updates off of what we update on Twitter. So yeah, everything we do, we put on Twitter first. And yeah, I also just want to say thank you to everybody, man. Just the amount of support and love we've been getting from the community has been amazing. And, you know, we really are dead set on delivering for the people and just creating something that's needed out there. So thank all you guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you actually coming out and like putting your best foot forward and building a project not only on Kadena, but something needed on this blockchain space. So I appreciate everything you guys do. Alfonso, thank you so much for joining, man. It was great getting to hear from you as well. And I will be doing more of these, and I'm actually super pumped that my first spaces that I actually did publicly was with you all.
Nice. So
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. And sorry for all the Twitter glitch. this
It's okay.
this
No,
app
we're gonna expect you to put up a little YouTube video later, dancing, so you can make up to us for that. You know, doing that.
The same. So good. Yeah, good teamwork there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man.
Everybody
Thank
have a great weekend and enjoy the holiday.
You too,
I
man.
see it.
Bye.
Bye now.